Hey everybody, we do have another tornado warning for Avoyelles Parish. This is actually south of the warning we were talking about here a few minutes ago. So there we go. Hey, forgot to shut the door, so apologies if you hear a meow. This tornado warning, first off, there is the one for the old storm over southern Concordia Parish. That is continuing into southwest Mississippi. It's right near Shaw right now. And we have a new warning that is in effect for eastern Avoyelles Parish. This is for a tornado-producing storm, a potential tornado-producing storm. This one's not confirmed. This one is basically over Moraville and headed towards Simmsport and potentially Plocheville. Let me go ahead and just read you that warning off. Sorry, I thought I had that up. Okay, so severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Moraville, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is going to be near Simmsport, Bordelonville, and Big Bend around 7:36, so 35, so right around now. Other locations impacted include Hamburg. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have on the storm relative velocity. Yeah, there's a good broad rotation in there. This is another storm like the one up to the northeast where we have that tornado warning, where we're not seeing an incredibly tight couplet right there, but we are seeing that this is higher up into the storm, as I was saying, about 5,000 feet up. So we're not going to see that very tight low-level rotation that we would see like we saw earlier on the tornado out near the radar site at Fort Johnson. So right now, two rotation signatures showing up there. The one east of Moraville now and just northwest of Simmsport. But this is right around Hamburg Road, right around Highway 1 if you're heading out of Moraville toward Yellow Bayou, Simmsport, that area. That is where this rotation is, and it's moving toward the east generally, east or east-northeast. This is going to move even further south into this southern nub of Concordia Parish along Highway 15, and then northern Point Coupee Parish perhaps could be in on this as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that debris tracker, and you know what? It kind of looks like we might have another. I don't see it up here, but it looks like this one could possibly be confirmed now. Right near Hamburg and Redfish, moving up toward Big Bend. Looks like this is going to stay north of Simmsport, but it looks like, yes, we do have another possibly confirmed tornado. So, you know, this is how things have been going. It seems like storms that aren't looking incredibly stout, they are producing, and in this case, it looks like another. I can't call it confirmed because I don't see it from them at the National Weather Service, but it looks pretty darn close to me because this is located right here with the strongest rotation east of Hamburg and moving up toward Big Bend. And then it's going to cross into that southern part of Concordia Parish. So another tornado warning, another potentially confirmed tornado, which is, I guess, not a good way to put it. But the way I'm seeing this I would treat this as a confirmed tornado northwest of Simmsport, north of Yellow Bayou and Redfish, moving up toward Big Bend. If you're anywhere between Big Bend and Simmsport, you want to seek shelter now. If you're in a tornado warning, you always want to seek shelter. I'm going to go ahead and put this in motion here. And yeah, it's tightening up too. We're seeing those come together a little bit better east of Moraville, and that's why I think we might be actually seeing this get confirmed from the radar data. Again, it's a pretty rural area out here, which is good news, but you know what? There's great folks that live out here. There's just, you know, you've got some areas out here that probably have several folks, and they are definitely needing these warnings. So that's what I'm going to come on and do this for each and every one of you. That's that's how things are working now. We're going to be on these warnings until they are canceled. And looking at this right now, this is a pretty nice rotation signature just north of Simmsport, and this continues to move on toward the east-northeast. We'll put it in motion here over the last hour, and yeah, that's strengthened a bit. And that's that first one that we had, the confirmed tornado that's now over southern Concordia Parish. And let me kind of expand this up a little. You can see that has sort of pulse down a little bit. This one's definitely on an upward trajectory, and that's your storm relative. This is like if we're riding along with the storm, this is the motion of it, and you can see there is rotation with both of these, hence the double tornado warnings. So if you're in eastern Avoyelles Parish, if you're in southern, extreme southern Concordia Parish, you are under a tornado warning right now, and I'm going to go ahead and look at that debris signature once again, see what we've got going on. Not seeing anything over Concordia right now, but this area right here north of Redfish, northwest of Yellow Bayou, northwest of Simsport, that's where we're seeing this. And let me move this the slower way. And that's where you see that thing pop up, and it's pretty consistent there over the last 10 minutes or so. It looks like we've seen at least, some potential, as that is located along with the turning winds at the surface or nearer to the surface. We're seeing that, and we're seeing that debris tracker northwest of Simsport picking up on something floating around up there. Now, downstream, yes, it's possible some of that debris would be getting vented out toward that area, but right now I think the most intense area of rotation combined with what we're seeing here is in that area east of Hamburg and moving up toward Big Bend. And I'm just looking to see if we have any sort of new updates. Not on that one. We did get an update on that scan right there. Okay, so that's our last update. Yeah, this is moving right along whatever that road is coming out of Hamburg here. Hamburg Road, Big Bend Road. This area, that's where, if you're in that area ahead of this system, which is in eastern Avoyelles Parish, you need to seek shelter right now. There is a tornado warning, and there is the potential that this is actually on the ground. It's tough to say when they're this far out from radar, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Lake Charles and just see what kind of signal I'm getting here. Yeah, we're further up into it, so it's going to be even worse looking. Yep, as I suspected. Okay, so Fort Polk radar showing a lot of heavy rainfall, probably a lot of lightning. I believe we have that. Yes, lots of lightning, heavy rain. Simsport, as of now, I think this is going to stay just north of you. If you're back in Bunkie, the rotation is off to your northeast. A lot of heavy rain, lightning, thunder. But these two supercells right here are the ones that we're watching right now. This one basically over Shaw, and then we have that Blackhawk, Acme, Levee Road, that area, and then crossing into Mississippi very shortly. And then back to the southwest, this is our second cell, different tornado warning, just northeast of Simsport. And I'm going to take a look at the shear rate. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing shear with this. We're not seeing the reds. We're not seeing the yellows. This is just some noise out here. And now we do have a confirmed tornado on this one. So let me see. Just a second. Yeah, that's a much better signature. And this is, again, moving in toward Hamburg. I'm sorry, away from Hamburg, toward Big Bend, in between there and Simsport. So checking on the updated warning data, because we did just get that confirmed tornado warning for Avoyelles Parish. 7:43. I'll just pull this over here now that Tommy K is on his way. So here is the text for you. A confirmed tornado was located over Big Bend or near just north of Simsport, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is a radar-confirmed tornado, flying debris, going to be dangerous, all that stuff. Tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of east-central Avoyelles Parish, including the following locations. Hamburg. Okay, so it's east of Hamburg. So we're looking at this area near, you guys know this area better than me. If you're like, I live out east of Moroville, or I'm on the north side of Simsport, you know exactly where you are. This tornado warning is now, I'll just tell you where it is. It's right along, I believe that was Big Bend Road. Yeah, Big Bend Road, Hamburg Road, B Cutoff Road. If that stuff, if you're like, wait, I live right there. This tornado is now confirmed via radar, and it is on its way toward your area. Let me go out a little further here. Muscle Lake Road, Velma Hess Lane. These areas are next in line, as this is a pretty clear radar signature that we have a tornado on the ground. Let's see. Hold on. Me. Sometimes you just have to get your bearings on this stuff. Yeah, it looks like a nasty little notch there south of Bunkie. Not a big response yet on the velocity data. But yeah, St. Landry Parish, I think you are going to see this storm down here around Jennings. That's going to come up over Opelousas, Washington, that area. And then it's possible we see this fill in a little bit more. One of these storms kind of take off. But you can see right now, when we look at the lightning and kind of pan back, we've got a big storm over Cameron Parish. We've got these two tornado-warned storms, with the one with the confirmed tornado that is now east of Hamburg and moving in toward Big Bend. Let me pull off the lightning, and then I'll go in and take a look. All right, so confirmed tornado warning. That we had the one earlier. Let me, and actually what I'm going to do just to reduce all the flashes that kind of come on there, I'm going to go down to 30 minutes on my loop, and then we'll see. Yeah, so it's probably going to be back in the rain. So, I mean, it's night. You're not going to go out and try to see it anyway. I mean, I've trained you better than that. But there is it looks like on radar here, this is pretty, I mean, it says ice rain up here. I might have to just remove these legends. I don't know. They don't tell the whole story. When you have this in a severe thunderstorm underneath strong rotation, you probably have a tornado on the ground. Now, as I was saying earlier, this time of year, it's real easy for leaves to get pulled off of trees, but to sustain this thing for 15 minutes or something, that's going to be a little tougher to do. So we've seen this kind of pulse up and down. It's now moving right toward the southern part of the Big Bend community, over toward Velma Hess Lane. There's not a ton of roads out here. If you're in that area, if you're up here by Bayou Desat Road, and if I'm saying it wrong, you can send me the pronunciation. To be honest, I'd love to know how to pronounce everything. Let's see. How are we on live? Because it's in my house. It's so easy. I just go push a button and boom, I'm live, and I love it. So yeah, that's your debris tracker. I'm not seeing a signal with the storm that is now moving into Mississippi out of the Shaw community in southern Concordia Parish. But we do have, and again, there we go. This area, see, when we see that debris signature, when I see that thing show up and it's right underneath where the red meets the green, even if I'm further from the radar site, I can put those two pieces of information together and say, yes, there is a confirmed tornado here, and there's likely damage occurring here south of Big Bend, north of Simmsport. This should be just north of Simmsport. Now, the center of rotation is roughly 3.5 miles from Simmsport. Sometimes this far from the radar, we will get a little tilting to the storm, a little tilting to the vortex. So it could be a half mile or even more away from where we're seeing that center of rotation, or even where we're seeing the debris tracker. But if you're 3.5 miles south and it's up here to your northeast, you've most likely kind of dodged this. So if you're right down in the main part of Simmsport, I think, I'm not going to give you an all clear, but I think things are looking much better than, say you were 4 miles north of Simmsport. Look at that, though. I mean, this thing just keeps on going. Another uptick in the debris tracker north of Simmsport by about 3 or 4 miles. And the sheer swath shows that it did pick up. You know, we got some reds in there. These storms, they're not exhibiting insane rotation in the low levels, but there's enough. And given the setup today, we're able to kind of maximize that. And we've seen, I mean, several now tornadoes that have reached the ground. Just checking to see any sort of updated information. Hey, they have one. Okay. Let me go back over to this. And yeah, so that right there, and I'll circle it because I say that right there, and I'm not like up at the wall, so I can't tell you. That is the debris signature that we're seeing north of Simsport by about 3 or 4 miles. This is continuing toward the east-northeast. It's mainly rural areas out here. You're kind of between Simsport and Big Bend in northeastern or east central of Voiles Parish. But it's a very clear signature on radar that we have a tornado on the ground. And it's probably, given just looking at the cycle of this on the velocity data and looking at all the pieces that we're kind of putting together here, this could stay on the ground for a little while longer. And of course, it knew I was saying that, and I was trying to jinx myself. It looks like a weaker return on this coming back now north of Simsport. This is crossing, it's through Big Bend Road over toward Vilma Hess Lane and Beanfield Road. It looks like it'll stay just barely north of Merrick, but you're close enough to where you'd want to seek shelter, even though I believe that's in Point Coupee Parish. And then it crosses into this southern part of Concordia. So let's take a look. It's tucked back in that rain as well, so very heavy rain falling. If I just looked at this right now and someone said, guess where the tornado is, if there were no warnings, it would be tough for me to do so because it's just nothing showing. Like earlier, we had hook echoes and all this stuff. Looking at velocity, you can see things, but looking at this, it does not jump off the page. Now, this area down toward Bunkie, that's a little more interesting. Velocity isn't showing us much, though. But I'm at the point now where I'm just kind of like, well, it seems like everything's trying to produce something. So speaking of that, I got to look further west. Yeah. Okay, so no warnings on the Evangeline Parish stuff. You're just seeing some heavy rainfall there. We do have some very heavy thunderstorms right over Bunkie, or just past Bunkie up toward Cottonport. And then that confirmed tornado that has been on the ground now for about 15 minutes north of Simsport. At least it's confirmed by radar. Let me pull this up. Yeah, the shear trying to weaken now. So hopefully we can get this thing out of here. Let me put this in motion. Last 30 minutes. Yeah, look at the thing. I mean, it's a very tenacious storm here. But that last frame, you can see it kind of weaken. That's the area we're looking at right there north of Simsport. Not seeing any confirmed. Okay. Loud and heavy in St. Landry. Let's see. Just got 911 report, tornado in Cottonport. Okay. Tornado in Cottonport. Let me go back. Yeah, it looks like that's right where the debris signature kind of started. And here's what's bad about these storms. And this is not I'm not faulting anyone because this is happening to me too. You see that there was no tornado warning until boom, there was a debris signature. There's not a lot of rotation down in the low levels. So it's like we get these tornado warnings, they just spin up so quickly that it's really tough to warn them. So if you are hearing crazy weather like loud thunder, lightning, heavy rain, all that stuff, you want to just be ready. If possible, kind of hang out in a safer room, get as many walls between you and the outside as you can, because this is one of those setups where along these squall lines, we don't necessarily get the really strong tornadoes, but they can spin up very quickly and with little, or in some cases, no warning. Now, right now, it looks like this is on a little bit of a shrinking phase here. Let me check out the storm relative velocity, and there's still, I see this, in a severe weather event, I'll see this 50 times and not see a tornado. So to see one, it's not impossible. We're seeing it right now, but it's kind of surprising sometimes to see that, because this is just not a velocity signature that jumps off and says, hey, there's going to be a tornado out of this. So that makes me think, let's take a look at this area here near Bunkie. Let's keep an eye on the debris tracker, make sure we don't have any little donuts popping up there. And for right now, I'm going to check the latest on the warning with that one. See if they're going to extend it. Not seeing anything on that right now. Okay, so good news is we're not seeing a real coherent debris signature. The bad news is they can appear very quickly. That area east of Bunkie, that's pretty strong stuff right there. It's maybe even some small hail out of that. Let me take a look and see if we have... Yeah, let's... BTI is very low. We're looking on a scale of 1 to 10 there, and we're at 1.8, so that's almost non-existent. But it looks like we could see some small hail out of that storm. Up to the north, where we had that confirmed tornado, it looks like, again, hail, very small hail is likely. BTI is 2.5. So these storms are not jumping out as something that it looks like, oh my goodness, like earlier, some of these storms, they really look like they were about to produce tornadoes. These are not ones that I look at and think, oh yeah, this one's definitely going to produce something here. But we did have a confirmed tornado once again that was basically just east or near Moraville, and then it continued on to the east north of Simsport and is now most likely crossing, if there is still something, into southern Concordia Parish. Let me see. CC is not showing much. All right, I'm going to sit here and keep watching things. From what I see, this... let me see one more thing. I don't see anything about this getting reissued. We are 3 minutes away. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, I got 3 minutes. We'll see if anything else pops in, because there is still that tornado warning for southern Concordia, so they might just be letting that kind of cover this one. And that tornado warning ends at 8:30, so I think that's what they're doing. And then we have a special weather statement that just pops up for this. That's for that area near Bunkie that I was talking about. Special weather statement. And that is for strong thunderstorms 7 miles southwest of Moraville, moving northeast at 50, wind gusts up to 40, and penny-sized hail. So yeah, we can go ahead and peel off of the coverage right now. I am sitting right here waiting to hit start streaming should I see another surprise tornado drop out of one of these. If I see any sort of warning, or if I see anything that's before the warning that I think requires me to jump on, I will do that as well. So I will hopefully not see you again, but it's possible.